they say a ring is going to be built, because they have decided to build a collider, LHC, of 91 kilometers for the year. I don't know, it's not, for in a few years. But this was a comment, an article on that, with this image of the Sauron evil ring. And this ring is there to bring them all in the evil darkness and to bind them. That is, and he comments, that's the power of the Sauron ring in The Lord of the Ring. We can take that formula to describe the ring of 91 kilometers of circumference of the CERN, and what that has to be, that they want to dig under the Big Geneva. The Big Geneva means it goes to France, it can go to Italy, because everything. So that's what they want to build.
All Things Unexplained is free to watch on YouTube and listen to wherever you get your podcasts. If you would like to support our show, you can visit our YouTube store. Additionally, you can find us on Venmo under All Things Unexplained. Be sure to check out our website, allthingsunexplained.com. All proceeds from the sales of Dr. Mounce's books on Amazon and Audible also go straight to our show.
I am here to discuss the so-called flying saucers.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man's.
Did the CIA write Wind of Change by the Scorpions?
As humans busied themselves about the various concerns, they were scrutinized and studied.
Dr. Loeb, what percentage chance do you give it that you have indeed uncovered extraterrestrial or non-human technology?
With infinite complacence, people went about their affairs, yet across an immense ethereal gulf, intellects vast and unsympathetic drew their plans against us.
All of a sudden, a stick out of nowhere landed right in front of us, and there was no tree, nothing overhead. Something threw it at us.
Yeah.
All Things Unexplained.
So some of that, I think, sir, we'll save for closed session.
Hello, all you unexplained ones. Thank you for joining us. I am your host, CJ Derringer, along with my co-host, Dr. Mounce. Something we don't get to say often is good morning. Normally, we're recording these shows at night, so good morning to everyone who is joining us. Thank you for tuning in. We really love all of our listeners in this community that we have built here at All Things Unexplained of open-minded people. And we have a wonderful show for you today. You are not going to want to miss this conversation. Please do like and subscribe, follow our show so that we can continue bringing this wonderful information to you. And now we are going to welcome to the show, Dr. Astrid Stuckelberger. Good morning, Dr. Stuckelberger.
Good morning, both. Thank you for inviting me. This is a fantastic adventure.
And we're speaking with Dr. Astrid Stuckelberger, and we're so thankful she's here with us today to talk about all kinds of things. And you just brought up something that was my second point that they could be trying to do at CERN. You mentioned black holes, and some people speculate they could be trying to create miniature or mini black holes, right? Black holes they can control. And I have a little video here on wormholes, and this could potentially lead to wormholes, right? And we know that this is scientifically possible. So let me pull this up.
The problem was that the theory predicted infinities at the center of black holes. These infinities arose when the total mass of a dead star collapsed down into a spot of zero size, what are called singularities. Rosen and Einstein played around with other possible solutions, including using some creative mathematics to replace two singularities with a tube that connected them. These tubes are called Einstein-Rosen bridges, or more commonly, wormholes. In principle, it would be possible to have an object enter one wormhole and exit the other, even though the ends of the wormholes are separated by large distances. This work is called ER theory. While there are many practical problems involved with making wormholes, an especially important one is that they are unstable unless stabilized by large amounts of negative energy.
What do you think about that, Astrid? Do you think CERN is achieving some traveling across dimensions or vast distances here with wormholes, maybe?
Yes, well, everything is possible. We have to really be open, because Einstein was actually a little bit of a fraud. He was at the office in Switzerland of the patents. So he had all the patents and he could see all the patents. And there is some hypothesis of people who analyze all this who say that relativity theory is actually to hide the real truth of what is going on, which makes sense. I was always interested by this, because with time you should regenerate and become younger. But I still think that they have made something else. But there are two things. What's interesting is that they talk of singularity point, and singularity point is the point of AI autonomous system. So they are trying to put in place this. I see really every convergence going towards that. So they are making propaganda for us that they are doing research, but actually they're doing propaganda on our mind, because what they're talking about there is more, I think, what you're talking about is more portal, the portal system that I think was already existing. You can see in the Maya civilization in Mexico. I went many times because I'm fascinated by Mexico, and nobody explains well what has happened. And you can see portals, and you think, okay, so they knew that dimension, that we could change dimension. But if you put a matrix on top, nothing works. So there are many who say that we have to go back to the pharaoh, because the pharaoh with the pyramids have blocked an energy that was there before. I don't have any other explanation than that for that, the first point. The second point, I can tell you that it was very strange. They published in the Tribune de Genève, which is the Geneva news, every day, the daily Geneva news. It was a Sunday where everybody reads the newspaper. And the picture that drew my attention was the Lord of the Ring, the ring of the film Lord of the Ring, the magic ring of Sauron. And it was a big picture. And beside, it was talking about the CERN. And that was about before the disappearance. I don't say the word because I'm going to be censored.
J.R.R. Tolkien. Well, one ring to unite them all.
Lipse. Because, and so I watched it, and I can translate it a little bit to you. It's written, guaranteed collusion. Is it magical or is it evil? And they say a ring is going to be built, because they have decided to build a collider, LHC, of 91 kilometers for the year. I don't know. It's not. For in a few years. But this was a comment, an article on that, with this image of the Sauron evil ring, and this ring is there to bring them all in the evil darkness and to bind them. That is, and it comments, that's the power of the Sauron ring in the Lord of the Ring. We can take that formula to describe the ring of 91 kilometers of circumference of the CERN, and what that has to be, that they want to dig under the Big Geneva. The Big Geneva means it goes to France, it can go to Italy, because everything. So that's what they want to build, because it looks like this energetic, it is so clear that, because it looks like this black hole, energy black hole. So they mentioned that this ring has the power, who will give the person bearing it, the invisible, I'm translating right away. This ring will give the power to give the invisible holder a future circular collisioner with the capacity to make, to get disappeared, to get the democratic rights of the touch population disappear.
Is this referencing the Lord of the Rings or the?
No, they're describing. Yeah, well, no, it's that's a comment that the CERN 91 kilometer will, like the ring.
Okay, gotcha.
Give the power the invisible power to destroy all democratic rights in the population, as well as to not show the benefits, the concrete benefits of this. Enthusiasts, our authorities are very enthusiastic, our federal authorities are very enthusiastic, and have a solution to avoid the blackout. They will put a casserole top, they will put that's in their kitchen. So it's a very weird. They put some truth, some evil. So they're playing in the media, and putting this in Geneva media.
Right.
That's exactly what they want to do. For me, this is the message.
Dan Brown, who of course writes the Robert Langdon series and wrote Angels and Demons, which focuses a lot on CERN and antimatter and the Vatican. He must have some inside knowledge into what's going on there, because the concept that they developed antimatter at CERN and could potentially control the world with that power.
Yes.
What you are now saying here, that they want to grow bigger so that they have more power to control the masses.
And they're trying to make us believe that it's magic or evil. But actually, what I see Max Igan is saying something very interesting, and others, is that they're actually creating a matrix of AI to call upon evil science to take over. Because then it will, you see 5G everywhere, you see all the lamps have been changed with LED, who are actually antennas. They're changing the whole matrix to prepare to turn on this huge AI with Chat GPT, etc. So we have to really have to say no to that, even internally. For me, that's what's happening. Yeah, they're saying a story which is not true, so that people fall into that new religion.
How do people, in your opinion, how should people protect themselves from this matrix that's been created?
Actually, I feel that's my inner feeling, that I feel that this is shifting now. I feel there is a change going on, but I would say those vaccinated have to really detox completely, and the others have to protect themselves, because they are trying to intoxicate us with aluminium, with things, blah blah, because this is going to keep us in the grid. So we have to disentangle each other, and not each other, from this matter. And there are, for example, antidotes. I've spoken with so many, and I have made protocols and stuff. You can take, for example, essential oil of lemon and grapefruit, also cinnamon with cacao, chocolate to drink. Things, this disentangles and detoxifies the body, and everything natural. You have to eat natural. Don't eat their 5G, their GMO and stuff. We have to get back to nature. This is our savior. It is really to connect again with our great planet, but not, they're even destroying plants and trees. They're trying to electrify, you see, things, and we are magnetic, so we have to work on that. And
stay out of the middle of the grocery store, people. There's literally nothing you need in the middle of the grocery store. I don't know about Switzerland, Astrid, but here in America, we tell people to go around the outside of the grocery store where the fruits and vegetables and plants are. It's in the middle, right? You have all this processed food with all these processed oils and fats, and that's the place they really try to get you to go. It's so addictive, and it tastes good, and you want more of it, but literally none of it is good for you.
Yeah, very good. And also have to be careful what you drink. Retrograde Red Bull, this is a killer.
Don't tell me that I can't drink coffee and we'll be okay.
No, but we have to believe in ourselves also. We have a great immune system, and if you express yourself, with energy, you can get rid of almost anything. So the fact that if you drink water, that is, you inform the water with bad energy. You see, water is actually very magical. It's been proven by many scientists, and it is of course censored, because you can inform most of your food and most of your water even the Hindus have this incredible ritual, and they eat with their hands, or they, and everybody does that in all religions now. You pray and you change the energy of things. So we have to get back to have more respect for what we do and what we eat, and thank, if there is meat, you say thank you to the animal, like indigenous people, and you have more respect. And I think with that already you create a kind of your own grid, of a healthy grid. Or you go and walk in the grass barefoot, you actually restore your electromagnetic field. This has been proven by people who study that, but nobody will tell you. Yeah, so there are many things like that where we have to do, but the consciousness is the most important. And then you have to be very sure of yourself. You see, for example, cancer, we know it's parasites now. So ivermectin or black cumin oil will kill it. It's the equivalent. There's always a natural equivalent. Look for it. There's always. Hydroxychloroquine is lemon and grapefruit, so.
One thing that we seem to find in common with everybody that comes on our show that seems connected to this phenomenon that's happening is their diet, their exercise, how well connected they are to their surroundings. So certainly something to consider in our everyday lives to make sure that we are not being controlled. Tim, was there anything else that you wanted to touch on before we?
Yes, I did. Maybe this last thing, and then we can have a couple of listener questions for Astrid, if she's okay with that.
Yes,
but
of course.
Astrid, you brought up something about a top secret base, CIA base under Lake Geneva, I believe. And we've heard from folks like Ross Coulthart. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Australian journalist Ross Coulthart. And he says that somewhere in this world is a giant UFO that is underground. It's so big they couldn't move it. They had to build a base on top of it or something else. So you're underground, and all this tunnel talk has got me to thinking about that. Have you heard anything about UFOs or the UFO phenomenon or underground UFOs, or what's your take on that, and how does it relate to anything that we've been talking about today?
What did he find? A giant platform? What was
well,
it?
He claims that at some point we discovered a UFO that was so large it could not be moved.
Oh,
and
I see.
that the military and governments put some sort of facility on top of it to keep it hidden, but that this is an active facility with a purpose and a function. So I just wondered if you heard of any such a thing, and if you have heard of anything with the UFO topic.
Well, it's not new to me. I mean, I had to choose science, but I actually wanted to go and learn parascience, and I should have gone to Holland. But so my dad was a lot he's a military, but he was reading a lot on UFOs. So it's not like, when I was a kid, I knew that this was a very important topic. I'm sure they're hiding it all. You probably have many shows on that. They're censoring all the data on that, and this is very disturbing. And they're trying to make them look like evil, which is crazy. But maybe there are some, but it's not the right ones. And what I have with the French people, France is a place where there are a lot of landings of UFOs, and there is a big activity in the south of France. So this I know from there, and also down from the Mont Blanc, down from the mountain. There are UFOs entries in the mountain. That's what I hear from reliable people in south of France, and there are a few places, and even known, Chateau Rennes-le-Château, for example, is known to have seen UFO sighting, but of course silence. Nobody's talking about it. So that's one thing. The other thing is that in Brittany, under the water. If you go to Brittany, it's a very interesting place because it's Celtic. I'm a half Viking myself. I'm Norwegian, so I'm very interested in all Viking and Celtic, because north of France it was Viking, and they have lots of proof that it was also, invaded or occupied or marriages. I don't know, but in Brittany they have Karnak, which is kind of Stonehenge but much better. I think it's more authentic. It's not built up, at least. But under the sea, there are thousands of menhirs, dolmens, that are standing inside, down. And so you ask, of course, I go to the archaeologists and they say, so what is it? How do you explain? And they never have an answer. It's like in Maya, where you see the UFOs that are on all the ruins. And so I was wondering if it's not a basis of some sort, and that's just a remnant. Everything else has been destroyed. But that's what I hear. At the moment, I hear that there is a lot of activity, but I have never met myself or seen it myself. That's what I can. But rely. And I saw that Rockefeller, who I was studying longevity of people, and Rockefeller died at 100. So it's at least 20 years ago. And I said, what was he doing, before he died? And I typed, and I saw that he actually had mandated a report on the danger unidentified flying objects, the extraterrestrial danger. Rockefeller,
really?
The father of hundreds. So I thought that must have been a real worry about that at the end of his life.
Yes.
So it's just a clue for those who are much more expert than me. But I know it is there. It exists. Yeah. And I don't know if CERN has some ability to do something about that, or our lake. Yeah, I've never seen anything. They're
Maybe
hiding it.
CERN is what was built over the this giant UFO.
That is a great point. A great question.
All right, Tim, we have some hot takes that you wanted to bring in, or listener questions.
Well, I think we should get to our listener questions. That kind of was my hot take.
Okay.
Astrid's thoughts on UFOs there and the phenomenon.
Yeah.
But we do have a question here from listener Helen of Crystals.
All right. Does Dr. Astrid think very high vibration children are visited by beings and targeted to keep their vibration lower?
Yeah, excellent question. Yes, absolutely. I really think they're targeted with hypertronic armaments. I know cases myself. It's a phenomenon like that. They have incarnated or chosen their mission here because they're hypersensitive, etc. But the energy is so hard for them that it's very difficult as teenagers to keep their vibration high. The only way, in a way, is, and of course they have killed or censored all those people. In France, and I think everywhere in the world, there are exorcists, and there are people taking off entities and helping this new generation also to heal, not just with psychiatric and pharma, because that puts them down. Yeah, I think that they do everything in many ways to take the energy of children and families and women down because they want to stop procreation. I'll give you an example that you might not know. In radiesthesia, I'm doing courses with experts in France and Germany where it started. Do you know what is radiesthesia? It's to study. Yeah,
I don't know.
You don't? Okay.
Or maybe the translation.
Yeah, you can really measure the harmonics on Earth, and how if a mirror is upside down, it can be open portals of bad entities that you have to bless it. You have to do, put back the energies at you can measure them with Bovis scale, Bovis. When I went to those expert groups of France with the vials, I said, what can you tell me about this? And they said, it's awful. They want to turn off the light of people. They have put entities in them. They have also told me that the code bar and the QR codes are actually there to turn down the energy of whatever it prints on. So if you have, a bottle, I don't have an example, whatever you buy, you buy something and there is a code bar.
Yes. You
have to do the alpha 3, 4, 5, up to 7 times, and the energy is back. Can you imagine? So, and this is I consider them as scientific people, because they are many and they check each other. So it means that they're trying very hard to bring down the energy by the surroundings of people who don't heal themselves or don't have enough high energy to control this dark grid that is trying to pull down the children. So children have to learn more than anybody to protect themselves. Take baths with salt. Salt takes off also bad energy, things like that. So the high vibration of children, I have a case really that I brought to those people. It's a friend of mine, and he doesn't want to get out and work. It's like if he is attacked all the time. Each time he goes to those, people who are sacred and know how to do things, he feels better and better, and he's getting back to his vibration. We know that today they are sending also targeted individual. I don't know if you have talked about this with the group of the US. And there are people who are attacked by those Wi-Fi energy and this. They get hypersensitive to everything. You need to protect yourself, with stones. I have companies where I know that it works because some have been testing it that I trust. We have to protect ourselves. No, don't sleep with the Wi-Fi. Don't sleep with this. Try to depollute the AI Wi-Fi system, and then your child are going to be better. But we are much more powerful than we think, because I really want to insist on that. We are much more powerful than they try to make us believe. They try to get off our self-esteem and creativity. We are much more powerful, and love heals, truth heals, and those children have to be taken care of. When the parents are in despair because they are sick, they have to, many people have been not well, very tired, and it's everybody, it's collective, it's not individual. So we have to raise our energy with food much more. We have to really much more fight for our environment and our food and our emotion, the epigenetics of the beginning.
There does seem to be a collective exhaustion. That's for sure. I feel it.
I think that's great advice, Astrid. Not only do I think that the signals that are everywhere around us are innately bad for us, but when you combine that with AI can use all the signals around us, this is a fact, in really disturbing ways. And I think that, there's a lot of things going on that we don't know about. And it's even been shown that, hey, if we just take our shoes and socks off and connect our feet to the bare ground, then even that in and of itself has health benefits. I think that's a great point.
To listen to your inner feeling, what is good for me, and make the list. Yeah, chronic fatigue syndrome it's everywhere in the world. I talked with hypersensitive and medium people who are medium, and they have never been so attacked since the beginning of the year. So there is one interesting way that I use to myself is I put Epsom salt in my bath, and I sunk in for an hour. You can watch a video from a distance. You can meditate, put a candle, put some music, make a feel good feeling, and it takes off from your whole skin this bad energy, because our skin is like noses. I wrote a book called 1,000 Noses, because scent is very important, and what you put on your skin. Take really pure oil or baby oil that you're sure doesn't have too much of this horrible toxicities. We have to get back to nature. There are ways like that with chronic fatigue. I call it a chemtrail extinction of voice and kind of cold. It was cold, warm, and I accept that I have to sleep. I had to sleep for 1 week. I was like, what is happening to me? And I said, no, you have to take care of yourself. Your body is asking for that. So you detox, and if you have this mucus coming out, just spit it in a handkerchief, because your body, and this is the real virus, is your detox. It doesn't exist. You have to help your body to detox, and if you have the mucus, the body's saying, I want to get out of your body, whatever happened. Your stress, what we breathe. So your body knows how to fight, and to help, you can take glutathione or NAC, and acetylcysteine or glutathione and zinc. So this helps the body to heal with the rest. But it is good to accept and say, okay, I'm going to turn off from my job. I'm going to say, I'm not going to work. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to ask a doctor to make a certificate, and I take care of myself. Don't hesitate. Yeah.
Yes. Well, this has been a very insightful conversation. I feel like we have gone into so many different territories and there's hours worth more to cover. So hopefully you will join us again on the show.
Yes, this is very nice.
Yeah. And we are excited to announce that we have our new website up and running. You can go to allthingsunexplained.com and get to all things about us and connect with us in many ways. Dr. Stuckelberg, where can people go to find more information about your research and what you're doing?
Thank you. Yeah, I've been very humble and discreet because that has allowed me to speak more and not to be censored like you just saw. So I'm kind of very quiet, but I have a website that I had already since 15 years. I will post in the future more. It's www.astridstuckelberger.com. In the future, I will make, I had 5 books to be published and I did not do it because COVID would have broken me. They would not do it. Even Balboa Press said that I cannot publish on this topic. I was like, wow. Anyway, so it will come in time and I will do my utmost. I have a Telegram, by the way. That's the best because it's not censored for the moment. It's not like, and it is Dr. Astrid Stuckelberger, like you see my name. And it is my picture and there is...
And just like that, she gets censored again.
They got her again. Didn't want her to give that telegram out.
Yeah, what did you say this time?
Giving out your information.
I said join. What? No. And otherwise I'm on X, and I actually post a selection like you saw that I think is really important. I don't have time. It's like needing a secretariat to.
Yeah.
And I cannot answer all the requests, but I'm reading the emails and in time I can respond or comments, and thank you for that. And,
well, we certainly appreciate you accepting our request, and we know that you're a very busy woman and making lots of wonderful changes in our society. So we thank you for your time and your insight. And again, I hope that we can have you on in the future.
Yes,
Tim, I'll throw it to you.
And I hope I will have more news on frequency and everything to help you.
That's great. We have so many things to chat about. If you can join us again sometime. I'm Dr. Mounts. CJ Derringer is my co-host. We've been joined today by Dr. Astrid Stuckelberger. Thanks so much to her. We put links to her website in the chat, and they'll be in the show descriptions wherever you're listening to us at. If you'd like to support the show, one of the best ways you can do it is on our YouTube store. Check that out. Also by making sure to subscribe, follow, comment, like, and share our videos and our podcast. It really helps us defeat the evil algorithms trying to keep the truth stamped down. So we really appreciate you. You can also check us out on our new website, allthingsunexplained.com. Lots of ways to find out more, All Things Unexplained there. And today we went on a journey across the globe, folks, around the whole universe, from portals at CERN to statues of Shiva they put in at CERN that represent the god of destruction for some reason, to huge tunnels they're building in Switzerland, aliens to UFOs to demons to subatomic dimensions. I want to take something Dr. Stuckelberger suggested. Let's get away from these signals that are surrounding us, these Wi-Fi signals, the satellite signals. Let's take our shoes off. Let's take our socks off. Head out into the woods tonight. Maybe today, not tonight, but look for Bigfoot. Look for UFOs. Look for portals. Listen to your surroundings. You know, you may not find Bigfoot. You may not see a UFO, but you might just find something a lot more important out there. You might find yourself. Thanks, everybody.
All Things Unexplained.
What's your hot take on Travis Taylor?
I've got an exclusive for you guys if you want it about the Alaska.
We do.
Okay.
Dr. Taylor was revealed to be the chief scientist of the UAP task force with the Pentagon.
So some of that, I think, sir, we'll save for closed session.
All Things Unexplained is free to watch on YouTube and listen to wherever you get your podcasts. If you would like to support our show, you can visit our YouTube store. Additionally, you can find us on Venmo under All Things Unexplained. Be sure to check out our website, allthingsunexplained.com. All proceeds from the sales of Dr. Mounce's books on Amazon and Audible also go straight to our show.